With the elites trying to bring about the New World Order for the end times, we should consider history, because the New World Order is the Old World Order. As Ecclesiastes 1:9 says, "The thing that hath been is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun." One thing that was and shall be again, and never went away, is the ancient religions of the elites, fallen angel worship, which they keep obscured, but is what they believe gives them the divine right to rule. The New World Order and the Old World Order is all about the worship and reverence to the fallen angels and their offspring demons in opposition to Jesus and God's good angels. That's all it is. All these false religions I discuss boils down to that in a nutshell. So I'll be reviewing the Gauls, also known as the Celts, also known as the Galatians in this video. The term Gaul is also used to refer to the ancient region of Western Europe inhabited by these people, which roughly corresponds to modern-day France, Belgium, Luxembourg, parts of Switzerland, the Netherlands, Germany, and northern Italy. Gaul is related to Welsh Galu, meaning powerful people. Powerful people. It stems from Old Frankish, Walhallant, cognate with the names Wales, Cornwall, Wallonia, and Wallachia. So the areas in red and purple were provinces of the Gallic Empire, and the green is Rome. The Gauls eventually settled in Anatolia, contemporary Turkey, becoming known as Galatians, as in the Church of Galatians, who taught that adhering to old Jewish laws of the Torah was required to be true followers of Christ. In the book of Galatians, Paul emphasizes to that church that salvation is a gift from God, received through faith in Jesus Christ, and not through adherence to the law. But this trend of following the Jewish laws is something that has become recently very popular among supposed Christians now. Have y'all noticed? Law is an important concept specific to these Galatians, which we will be reviewing in this video. The ancient Gauls were known for their strong religious beliefs. They followed an ancient Celtic religion overseen by Druids. Gaulish society was dominated by the Druid priestly class, and those Druids did not go away. Winston Churchill, Prime Minister of Britain during World War II, was a Druid, and Druidism is practiced at the Bohemian Grove. The Gauls had a polytheistic religion, meaning a religion of worshiping fallen angels. The Gauls had a father god who was often the god of the tribe and of the dead, and a mother goddess who was associated with the land, earth, and fertility. They worshipped the horned Cernunnos, which Cern is named for, and Cern is right there on the border of France and Switzerland, ancient Gaulish territory. There's also evidence that the Gauls sacrificed humans, and I'll just say sacrificed humans to the fallen angels. And some Greco-Roman sources claim the Gauls sacrificed criminals by burning them in a wicker man, which is a burning man, and that has not gone away, and it originated with the Gauls. The Romans said the Gauls had held ceremonies in sacred groves, and that's not gone away. It's what they do in Bohemian Grove. It's what they do there. Bohemian Grove. It's a sacred grove. Among the Romans and Greeks, the Gauls had a reputation as head hunters. There is archaeological evidence of a head cult who embalmed and displayed severed heads. So the Roman conquest gave rise to a Gallo-Roman religion with deities such as Mars, Apollo, and Mercury. Ancient writers described the Gauls as tall, strong, with milk-white skin, and reddish blonde hair, like Lestat de Lioncourt in Interview with the Vampire. And I had wondered why they made Tom Cruise have reddish blonde hair in the movie Interview with the Vampire, and now I know. Because Lestat de Lioncourt is a reference to the Gauls. Lestat's character takes his name from Lyon, France, the ancient capital city of the Gauls. Still revered within the Holy Roman Empire, the Roman Emperor Claudius was born in Lyon, France. Lyon was incorporated into the Holy Roman Empire in 1033 and then came under French control in the 14th century. The city is now named Lyon, but it was originally named Lugdun for the Celtic god Lu, meaning light. Lu was a member of the Tuatha De Danann, a group of supernatural beings, or shining ones. Tuatha De Danann and vampires are synonymous. Fairies and vampires. Lestat de Lioncourt, the fairy vampire from Interview with the Vampire, referred to himself as Light in that TV series, and that was a definite reference to the Celtic god Lu. The vampires in this series refer to themselves as gods. Lu also had associations with oaths, truth, and the law, which is a major theme in Interview with the vampires on trial in the last episode of Season 2. This fascination and reverence for the law, just like the Galatians, and just like the modern Judaizers and Torah followers. No offense, but that these people, you're not ancient Hebrews. I don't get it, but I do get it. I think it's an end time thing. There's also a focus on art in the series, which is also a reference to the Gauls. Gaulish art evolved into Gallo-Roman art, with influence from Greek, Etruscan, and Scythian, all beast empires among the elites, and the art was only for the elites, of course. The Dying Gaul, also called the Dying Galatian, is an ancient Roman marble statue now in the Capitoline Museums in Rome, along with the Capitoline wolf. And I previously said that she-wolf was in the Vatican Museum, and I think it was 15 years ago when I was there. Maybe they moved it or I misremembered it. But it is a copy of a now lost Greek sculpture from around 300 BC, the Dying Gaul is. The original was commissioned by Attalus I of Pergamon to celebrate his victory over the Galatians, the Celtic or the Gaulish people of Anatolia. The Gaels, Gaels, are Gauls, Gauls, or Celts, native to the British Isles, or the UK, Ireland, Scotland, and the Isle of Man, and Wales. They had a cultural influence in these areas through what they called Celtic Christianity. The foundation of Celtic Christianity is the ancient pagan Celtic order of Chaldees, Chaldees being a Gaelic term. The Chaldees were the last remains of the Druids, and they had their monastery at the Abbey of Iona off the island of Iona in Scotland. And that's a sacred pagan site known as the Isle of the Druids. For more information about what goes on there today, see my video titled Planetary Intelligence. So these Chaldees held the Phoenician tradition of worshiping Kronos. Poseidon is one of the 12 Olympian gods, and his father is Kronos. So I think this is likely why Poseidon is on the gold royal coach of the UK monarchs. Oscar Hansen, the U.S. Army major who created the Hoover Dam Monument with fallen angels, ancient Egyptian iconography, Freemasonry, and Druidism, was a proponent of Celtic Christianity, proclaiming that the Celtic Church will rise again. But don't get confused with all the different tribes of Nephilim, like the Celts and the Etruscans and the Gauls and all their associated religions, because it's all the same. It's all fallen angel worship, and it goes back to pre-flood. Lestat de Lioncourt, in Interview with the Vampire, called himself Akasha, which is Sanskrit for aether in Hindu cosmology, and a term used in Western occultism. So Sanskrit is very old, right? It's an Indo-Aryan language beginning around 1500 BC with pre-flood origins. Natasha commented this about Akasha. In the New Age, it's on every practitioner's lips, a mysterious realm that supposedly holds all of mankind's records in a spiritual database, the Akashic Records, said to be reached via astral travel. Except that the real records are in heaven with our Father, and it's called the Book of Life. Satan rips off the Holy Scriptures. Occultic practitioners replace biblical angels such as Michael and Gabriel with fallen angels such as Shemjaza and Azazel and encourage people to worship them. End of quote. So aether is what they call the fifth element filling the universe beyond the terrestrial sphere. But I say that it's the spirit that fills outer darkness, which these occultists refer to as space. This is a medieval drawing of the aether in the cosmos, and it says here it's the innermost spheres in the terrestrial spheres, or the innermost spheres, with the outer spheres made of the aether and containing the celestial bodies. So there you have it. It contains the fallen angels. Thanks for listening.